once in a while.
Okay. Audience, are you ready? Okay, and remember, it is tough standing up here. I'm even having a hard time standing up here, but that in through your nose really slow. It really does calm.
Would hyperventilating make me stressed?
Well,
You did too long a day, you don't have to run away.
Okay. All right. We're all set then. Great. Okay.
And your lunch, Evan.
Audience, are you ready?
Your lunch and your mom.
Welcome. I would like to present Henry David Thoreau.
I am Henry David Thoreau. I was born July 12th, 1817 in Concord, Massachusetts. My first name was David, but everybody called me by my middle name, Henry. My parents were John and Cynthia Thoreau. My dad, John, owned a pencil factory. Pencils were still new in that time. I was raised Unitarian, but when our minister did not speak out against slavery, I stopped and decided nature was my religion. During my education, we had to learn long parts from Shakespeare plays and the Good Book. Anybody who didn't pay attention was flawed. When I was 11, I moved to a private school. There I found my passion, writing about nature. I also learned to whittle and became good at carpentry. When I was 16, I made a rowboat I called the Rosa. My mom, Cynthia Thoreau, did not want me to become a carpenter. She sent me to Harvard University in Cambridge. When I left college, I taught school from 1838 to 1841. There was no flogging at this school. I stopped teaching because my teaching partner had died of illness. I became a handyman for a bit, and then got hired by Ralph Waldo Emerson, someone who also read about nature. We made a deal. For half the day, I would work for him and do chores around the house and stuff. And then for the other half of the day, I could study in his library and write. Ralph Emerson Jr. died of scarlet fever. Then in 1830, Ralph Emerson Jr. died of scarlet fever in 1843. I moved to Staten Island, New York, stricken by grief, and taught Ralph Waldo Emerson's other son, William. Then I went back to Concord, Massachusetts. I worked in my father's pencil factory. In 1845, when I was 27, the Emersons bought Walden Pond. I was looking for a simpler life, away from worldly concerns. I asked if I could live there. They said I could. I made a log cabin all by myself and dug a cellar. I woke up early every day and farmed beans and other crops. I liked all the nature. Rowing and fishing and playing the flute was also fun. During anti-slavery, I knew all the nature there couldn't last. Trees were being cut down for paper, and there was a railroad around Walden Pond polluting the water. Once when I was walking in Concord, I ran into the sheriff, and he arrested me because I wasn't paying my taxes to the United States Army. I wasn't paying my taxes because the Mexican-American War was going on, and I didn't want to pay them for guns and stuff. So I had to spend the night in jail. I said I could leave, I wanted to stay to help draw attention to the slavery issue. When they forced me to go, I wrote Civil Disobedience. It's an essay about about my night in jail and how to peacefully protest injustice of the government. During anti-slavery movements, I helped people on the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad is a chain of safe houses that slaves used to escape. Then I finally finished my first book, Week on the Concord and Merrimack Rivers. It sold a handful of copies and was published. It was published and sold a handful of copies. Then I started writing another book, Walden. It was about my stay at Walden Pond and how to preserve and protect nature. 1857. A black freedom fighter named John Brown came to Concord. He wanted people to pay money to help him free slaves. I didn't know that he used force to free them. In 1859, in October 1859, John Brown raided an army base for weapons and started fighting with the U.S. Army. They were quickly outnumbered, and most of the black fighters that came with them were either captured or killed. December 2nd, 1859. John Brown was hanged, but John's spirit is more alive than ever. 1860. People are talking about the Civil War. I feel weak of the sickness tuberculosis. I started taking nighttime walks. I think they might help. Spring 1861. I went to Minnesota I thought the fresh air would heal my lungs. Then I went back to Concord. 1862. My last words were moose and Indian. My writing is important because Civil Disobedience was later read by Gandhi, who helped free India, and Martin Luther King, who helped stop segregation. Walden was important because it told people they should harbor and protect nature. 3 questions I would like to ask Henry David Thoreau if I could. When did you start writing Walden? How long did it take to make the Rose or Rowboat? Why, at the moment of my death, did I say moose and Indian?